The message is to have a little bit of heart, that President Obama should have some heart and free Pollard. First of all, we all know that he should be freed anyway after 26 years in jail, far longer than any other spy has ever had to serve. Second of all, his father just died. For humanitarian reasons, for God's sake, for America's sake, okay? Free Jonathan Pollard to go to the funeral of his beloved father.
Free Pollard now, after 26 years. He did not kill anyone. He did not murder innocent people. All of the murderers of Al-Qaeda were already freed long time ago. He's just sitting there.
America should look back at the Constitution, at the 14th Amendment, and act accordingly, which means that according to the American Constitution and the 14th Amendment, each person has a right of equal protection of the law and due process of law. All these things are denied, were denied, and still denied to Pollard.
I think the Israelis are starting to become very angry and very hurt of the very long vendetta of the American. I think Pollard has to be free a very long time ago. His punishment is irrational.
I'll tell you something very extreme. I have a list of about 35 or 40 people who were convicted of similar crimes. Only 3 were severely punished. Pollard, Julius Rosenberg, and Ethel Rosenberg, who were executed back in the 50s. Now you have to draw to the conclusion, how come only 3 Jews are punished all the way? I don't have an answer, but I do have a question.
It is hard for me to understand the American behavior. There is some kind of deep hate for that man, which is really not have no any proportion to what he really did.
I see it as a disgrace and as a shame and as a reflection of the president who does not care about Jews or Israel. That's how I see it.
He spent so many years already of his life. He lost both of his parents. He couldn't build his own regular family, doesn't have children. And I think if the American, if Obama doesn't want to lose the big support that the Israeli people in the street give him, all the credit we give him, he have to become more brave and refresh his thinking about his behaving and thinking about Pollard, and let him free, let him go.
What Obama's administration is doing to date to Pollard is worse than the Soviets treated their own dissidents. And we have a direct example, a direct analogy. In 1972, the Soviets kicked out a poet, Yosef Brodsky, who later became Nobel Prize winner. He was accused of publishing his poems outside the Soviet Union, which was regarded as treason in those days in the Soviet Union. He was eventually kicked out of Russia after he spent a while in prison. And when his parents were dying, his mother and then a short time afterwards his father, he begged to allow him to come for the funeral, and the Soviets refused. But in those days, we were talking about 2 countries that were enemies, the Soviet Union and Russia. Today, we're begging from Obama to allow... And America. The Soviet Union and America were enemies in those days. And so the Soviets didn't want to allow somebody whom they regarded as a defector to come back. Now we're asking of Obama to let Jonathan go for a few hours to attend his father's funeral in the same country where he already spent 10 times more than the average sentence for his crime. And therefore we regard Obama's behavior now as absolutely inhumane, ruthless, cruel, and hypocritical, because he tries to show up as a human rights defender.